Okay everybody, so I've had a lot of requests to do a review on this ArchAngel stock. If you don't know, ArchAngel is like a sub-company for ProMag, so realistically it's a ProMag stock. The stock here is for the M1A, and ProMag's big advertisement is it's a direct drop-in for any M1A, no bedding required. Now, I personally own the SOCOM II, so a lot of SOCOM II owners have been asking me since I got this stock how it worked out. So that's what the primary focus of this is going to be. I am going to run over a few quick little differences for us SOCOM II owners versus a standard M1A. But really quick, I want to cover over the JAE stock. A lot of people have been asking me, well, how do you compare the ArchAngel to the JAE? I haven't personally owned a JAE, but I have had the chance to hold them. And one thing that I like ArchAngel did a lot better than the JAE is it's got a really deep gooseneck here. I mean, you can really get your hand down in there. And then the other thing that I really like about it is it's just really comfortable if you use a two-handed, one arm wrapped under holding the buttstock. For me, this is a perfect fit. ArchAngel also advertises that it's got some storage space under here. I don't really care. I don't ever store anything in my rifle, but I guess a lot of people do, so they are pretty big on that. Standard things like adjustable cheek rest, and it also has an adjustment for the length of pull. All the way in, it's still, I believe, they said 1.5 inches longer than the GI stock that your M1A comes on. The only thing that really did for me was make it fit into my safe a little easier. It does come with a built-in Picatinny rail, as you'll see here. It's plastic, but I mean it holds up good enough. So focusing on us SOCOM II owners, the thing that a lot of guys are asking me is, do you have to mod the stock still? Because a lot of people don't want to have to mod the stock. If you have a standard M1A, like a Scout or National Match, you do not. But if you have a SOCOM II, then I hate to break it to you, but you are going to have to mod some stuff. The first thing I had to mod was right here. You can see I had to do a little bit of a cut. I started sawing at it a little bit, but I was worried it was going to be a little bit too bulky or too aggressive of a cut. So what I ended up doing was taking a soldering iron and just slowly melting a little bit at a time out of here. Now the reason I did this is because with our top Viltor rail, it will not fit on there. When you go to put the action on, let's see here. That little edge right there on your rail system would not fit into the action. See the two corners there? So that's what I had to cut that out for. I also, on the other side, had to make a very, very, very small cut. I mean, it was almost not noticeable, but I did have to do some shaving on the other side as well. But other than that, I mean, once I got that taken care of, the action went right in. I'm going to try and set this camera down for a second. I'm using a phone, so it's going to be sloppy. You're going to have to forgive me. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put the action in. So as you can see, there's my first shave. That's the one that I said was very, very small. And then here is our second one. So before I did anything to stock, this came all the way up to here. And that little piece of that right there is what was obstructing the stock from receiving the action. Now the other thing that I noticed that was a kind of pain in the ass, it didn't require any modding or anything, but when you go to put the trigger assembly back in, you really have to make sure it lines up with these grooves that are built into the stock. I don't know if you can really see them in here, but if you look on yours when you get it, you'll see that there's 2 forward grooves as well. Just make sure it's lined up right. Doing this one-handed is kind of a pain in the ass. Alright, I'm going to have to put the camera down a second again. There we go. Okay, so I got it in. It's now properly seated. Just go ahead and push down on it, make sure it's in there good. Now this is the part that sucks. On the video that you're going to get with your scope, they give you a little piece of paper that has a link to a YouTube video from ArchAngel. And I don't know how the owner or designer did it, but he just goes ahead and pulls this in and it snaps in. It's a real pain in the ass for me. I don't know if it's just something that needs to be shaved down. I don't want to shave anything more off this stock because it does close. You just got to put some muscle into it. And I mean, once it's locked in, this action is in here really tight. And go ahead and see if I can do it one-handed. Alright, there we go. So that's in. And there you have a SOCOM II and an ArchAngel stock. Now I'm by no means super proficient with the M1A. I had an M21 for a while in country, and that was off of a 22-inch barrel, I believe it was. As you know, the SOCOM II is a 16.25, I believe. So yes, before I get all the comments, my scope is overkill. I know that. It's going to be transplanted on another M1A later on, as well as this stock. But speaking in regards to the SOCOM II, I did notice a great deal of improved accuracy and grouping. I took the stock and the scope out with the SOCOM II the other day to zero the scope, as I just got this on here. I used to have an EOTech on here, but sold the EOTech, and I was definitely getting sub 1 minute of angle groups. I mean, if they weren't touching, they were going within each other. So I'm very happy with the stock. And personally, I'll endorse it. I mean, as much as that means, but comparing the price tag of, you know, I've seen these online at $200 to about $299 is the MSRP, but I've seen them around $200 on different websites. Versus, I think the JAEs are going still $560 and up, depending on what accessories you get on it. As far as California legal goes, I have no idea, guys. I live in Michigan, and we don't have any of those ridiculous laws, so I can't help you there. But if the legality is not an issue for you, then I highly recommend this. I know the JAE is California approved, and I believe that's because their pistol grip goes from here up, where they don't have this big cut, which to me is one of the things that sold me on this stock, because it's just so comfortable for me to get my hand in there. I mean, as you can see, I come across a little bit. I can't imagine shooting the JAE being like this. I've held one before and I didn't like it. This for me is very comfortable. So, in a nutshell, that is what us SOCOM II owners have to be advised on this ArchAngel stock. But all in all, I think it's definitely worth the maybe 30 minutes of modding. If I had thought about it, I would have recorded the modding, but at the time when I got this stock in, I had other stuff going on. I was just trying to get it done really quick. So with that said, I think we made it here in under 20 or 10 minutes, so I'm happy with that. Pathfinder 2 out.